King Tut profile drawing like they would have in Egyptian art. The first thing we're going to need is a tan piece of paper, and I need you to put your name and your class with pencil on the back side. During class, I took a picture of you. This is a picture of my son at home, so I'm going to use it. And what you're going to be doing today is opening up your scissors wide like a crocodile teeth. And you have to cut carefully because you get one chance with this. We're going to be cutting where the neck is. So where your clothes touch your neckline, you're just going to cut right along the clothesline. And then you're going to do the same thing with your hair. Now the hair, there's little pieces here and there that are kind of scraggly. You can just kind of trim those, go right around them. You get one shot. Now you don't want a lot of leftover paper like that. That would be wrong. I want you to get right next to the head, right next to the hair. Do a good job cutting, nice and slow. Any of your extra paper, you need to wad it up and throw it in your table trash can. Now what we're going to do is make a line all the way from the forehead, top of the ear, trace behind the ear where your hair is. What we have to do to that section is cut it off. That extra piece can also go in your table trash can. Now what we're going to be doing is gluing the face to the paper. We're going to be using glue stick today. Remember to put the cap in the middle of the table. If there's no glue there, you may twist it one time. And remember, when we glue twice. So go along the outside edge, once, now twice. And I'm gluing on top of my tan paper so that if I get a little bit too much glue, instead of it getting on the table, it's getting on my paper. Just a little bit of glue in the middle. And this is going to go right in the center of your paper. So I'm making sure there's an equal distance here, and that my neck is facing down. After you get it put on, remember to flip over your paper and give it a good back massage. Snap that cap, give it a nap. The next thing we're going to be drawing is the shoulder drape, and that's basically like just a clothing that they would have worn. You're going to touch the neck and bring a diagonal line all the way till it touches the bottom of the paper. We're going to do the same thing right here, touch the back of the neck, diagonal line all the way till it touches the bottom of the paper. For our hat, for our headdress, we're going to be bringing a line from the top of our hair straight up, but not all the way off the edge of the paper. We're going to touch the back of our neck, not where the ear is, but this is where like your hairline would be. And we're going to bring a diagonal line, again, not all the way to the edge. Connect this top line to that with a straight diagonal. Just like that. So now we have our shoulder drape and our headdress drawn with pencil. The next thing we're going to be using today are markers, and you may pick any color you want to start off with. I'm going to pick blue. When you're using the markers, make sure you either put the lid on the back or in the middle of your table so that you don't lose them. What you're going to do is simply trace. What you're simply going to do is trace all of your pencil lines. Snap that cap, give it a nap. Now, boys and girls, what we want to do to the shoulder drape is add straight stripes. Horizontal, they go from left to right. I would do 3, 4, or 5. On the headdress, we're going to be creating a pattern using diagonal stripes. Again, 3, 4, or 5. Once we've drawn the stripes on the headdress, we're going to be creating a pattern of triangles. And the easiest way to do it is to draw a zigzag line. We're going to skip the top row and go to the second one and go zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, zig. If you notice, what it made was some triangles. We're going to skip the next row and do zigzags right by the head. In my empty rows, I'm going to put 2 extra stripes. On my clothes, I'm going to also do the zigzags. These 2 rows I'm going to leave empty. Now I'm going to pick a new color of marker. Now I'm going to pick green. And I'm going to be tracing all of the lines that I just created. Snap that cap, give it a nap. I would like to change colors again for the clothes, and so I'm going to use this green, this dark green. Now, artists, what we're going to use next are some crayons. And we want to try to pick some really bright ones. Since our tan is kind of dull and our gray and black and white picture is kind of dull, we want to be creating some very bright and vibrant colors. When we're working, we're trying to think about patterns. So I'm going to make it orange, skip a row, orange again, so that I have some repetition. A good artist uses patterns and repetition in their artwork. Repetition means that you repeat something over and over again. So I'm repeating my orange stripe. I'm going to do that same pattern down here. So now that I went orange, skip, orange, I'm going to do the same thing here. Orange, skip, orange. When we color like an artist. Small circles, ooh la la, stay inside the lines. I can go ahead and switch colors to something new. Trying to pick 2 new colors to do my patterns here. So I did blue, skip, blue, skip. I will now do my raspberry color. If you need to peel a crayon while you're coloring, you can. Just put that trash in your table trash can. Since I used those colors here, I'm going to repeat those same colors here. The difference is I'm going to choose to put them on the bottom row of triangles. Be careful not to color on your picture. Now I'm going to choose 2 new colors to finish those triangles. If your crayon breaks in 2, just put 1 back in the bowl. You have 2 instead of 1. I made a goof. I forgot to color 2 of those orange. I could either leave them, or if I don't want to leave that mistake, crayons don't come all the way off, but they can erase just a little bit. They get kind of waxy, so you can erase first, but then use kind of your thumbnail and pick away at that wax. Lighten it up where you made a mistake, and then you can go over it with the new color. And so I fixed the mistake that I made. We're going to move on down here to the shoulder dress. And when you do, you still want to repeat some of those colors down here, but you could also incorporate some of the new colors. I want to pick that dark orange that I started with, or something similar if you can't find the exact same crayon. But this time, instead of doing the stripes with it, I'm going to do the triangles with it. So if I use it one place, I have to use it another place since we're using repetition. I used yellow. I'm going to use yellow again. Now if you look at my finished coloring, you can't see very much of that tan color showing through my headdress or my shoulder drape. And that's because I made sure that I colored inside the lines, ooh la la, and filled in most of those spaces. In King Tut profiles, they would often add a snake coming out of the headdress and also some detail to the eye. We're gonna be using a black Sharpie today. And underneath your eye in your picture, you're gonna underline it, and then you're gonna underline the top of your eyelid too. It kind of looks like a sideways V. Continue that line over and add a little line to it like that. For our snake, it's gonna come out of the headdress and you're gonna make kind of a letter S. Make it 2 times. Connect it. We're gonna give it a small little head and a forked tongue. Give it 2 eyes. We're gonna choose one of the colors that we already used in our headdress and color in the snake. In Egyptian times, they would often wear large necklaces around their necks. And so with your Sharpie too, we're gonna be adding 1, 2, 3 curved lines for our necklaces, and that's for boys and girls. The last step, it's a choice for just my boys. If you would like to add a beard hanging off of your chin, it just looks like a U, and then you can also add 1, 2, 3 stripes to it. Again, I want you to choose one of the colors that you already used of crayon and fill in your beard. All right, artists, we are ready to put our name on these and our class. So with that same black Sharpie, down here on the bottom, even if it overlaps your artwork just a little bit, I want you to put your name. And over here in this corner, you need to put your class. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a finished King Tut profile drawing, inspired by Egyptian art. Good job today, artists.